really nervous because I'm in college. I'm not 24. I'm in college now and read books like you bring to the college campuses. And it's really pressure because I'm speaking along with these great authors. They know a lot of big vocabulary. uh, and I just thought about, wow, this country does have equality. They treat me like equal person with these great people. I don't know. I hope I don't make your afternoon too dark because we are going to talk about North Korea. We know that it is the darkest place on earth, right? If you see at night, there are no electricity. So it's not just emotionally dark, it's physically the darkest place that we got at the moment. They have Earth Day every day there. They just don't use electricity. We are great people. um, it was not something I planned to speak out because I did not know that we cared about North Korea. But now I'm speaking out that because I know you all care about North Korea. This morning I read news. Obviously, North Korea did another missile test, and the press talking about the politics again, nuclear test, and the relationship with Japan, what America is going to do about their allies. It saddens me a lot because North Korea is not just simply politics. It's just not about crazy dictator and his funny haircut. It is not a meme. It's just people living there and the forgotten people. I'm at Columbia University right now, and in class, my professor asks, introduce yourself. And sometimes I don't say I'm from North Korea, but I did try once. I said, hi, I'm from North Korea. My name is Yeonmi Park. And no one said anything. So I thought, oh, these people are taking it so well. And later after the class, someone came to me and asked me, hey, so are you from North Carolina? So they all thought that I was from North Carolina. So no one really dared to think that I'm from North Korea. My goal of today is that I want to achieve a few things. One, obviously, Kim Jong-un is not funny. Two, when people ask if I say I'm Korean, they say, where are you from, North or South? It is impossible from North Korea to America with a passport, right? That's how we are not really informed yet about this situation. So I want to stop here that question. One day people stop asking me, which side are you from? So I was grew up in a country. Unfortunately, I did not know about climate change. I did not know anything. I went to school like everyone does in North Korea. And I learned different things. I did not learn about liberty, freedom, anything. I learned about what the regime taught me. I learned math, and my math problem was like this. There are 4 American bastards, and you kill 2 of them. Then how many American bastards left to kill? Then I say, 2 American bastards. So all bastards here, right? I never able to call you Americans. I only had to call you American bastards. As I told you, we don't have electricity, so we don't have any, internet or anything else. I did play games with my friends. Like winter now, when it snows, we build a snowman, and we make the big nose, and we put there USA. And then we bring the hot boiling water from the snowman, and the snowman melts instantly. Then we say, hooray, American bastards gone. So that was my game. But the thing is, when North Korean regime told me about America, we didn't have internet, so we could not really just simply go online and look up what Americans look like. For me, it was that the posters gave us the blue eyes and big nose bastards. And that's what we imagined. And I didn't really know about the world much because they didn't really show me the map. All I knew was Russia, China, Japan, and Americans, of course. I did not know about Africa, Canada, Australia, any of those. And of course, I never knew how diverse Americans was. That little word, and we did not even have word for freedom or human rights that often we use in this country. The one thing that most fascinated me when I came to free world was that the words, the abundance of words we have. You all read 1984 by George Orwell. He talks about the words, right? In North Korea, we don't have words like human rights. We don't have words for human dignity, individuality. So we don't know the concept. So obviously, when I went to South Korea, when I heard word like animals' rights, I was really shocked. You guys have animals' rights? I did not even know I had rights. When I was young, I did not only have this darkness, I did have some exposure to outside of the world. There were some bootlegged, DVDs came from China. And my parents actually loved pro wrestling, WWF. But here's like some miscommunication. Because we have electricity so rarely, in order to finish one film, sometimes it takes 3 months to finish one. Because once it comes, sometimes the volume is too low, and sometimes it only comes for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And you have to watch police is coming. So it's a big deal finishing one movie. But still I finished a few. And one of them was pro wrestling. And to me it was like, that was the image of American men. I don't know, they were like all show people. It was like, average Americans look like muscly. And when I came to America, I was really shocked. Like, what's wrong with all of you here? And I saw like, movie Titanic. And I was shocked because the movie was based on like a century ago. And they had like better plates. They had like better things than us, like who were living in 21st century. But not only that, actually that movie gave me as a taste of love and humanity because in North Korea, in school we don't learn about Romeo and Juliet. We don't know who Shakespeare is. We learn that our dear leader defeated American bastards and freed us. He created this humanity. He's a God chosen by this heaven. And we never thought he was dying. Even he dies, like if we understand like Christianity, Jesus died, but his spirit is with us all the time. It was like that. I thought Kim Il-sung died, Kim Jong-il died, but the spirit is with us, and who can read my mind? It's with me all the time. But people so it's the most fascinating thing is that when you look up the average IQ in the world, North Korea is number 2 smartest people on average IQ. That's just 1 point below than Hong Kong people. That's how the smart people are there. But because they just don't have information, they cannot just walk into the next town and find that. We are not even allowed to go next town. Governments telling us what to wear. They tell us what to watch, what to sing, where to live. So I never had the freedom to listen to music that I liked. No one cared what I liked. Just everything was in the order by the regime. So after some exposure to the outside world, I still had no idea the world was going to be like this. In 2007, my father was in prison because he was doing the illegal business. Not a bad thing. He just traded. He sold the metal. But for government, it was illegal business, so they sent to him labor camp. And we could not really live anymore. So I was going to mountains, eating, dragonflies, grasshoppers, and plants. But don't be too shocked, they are good for diet. I'm still really fit because of all that. I survived that, and we could not really bear life anymore. It was so hard. When we decided to escape, it was not like our choice. We did not really decide. Imagine if you are in a burning house. You don't really think you're gonna just jump off. If you're inside, you're gonna die. It was just like that. My sister, at the age of 16, she left with her friend and she escaped. And I had a really bad a stomach ache, and I went to hospital. And the hospital, of course, we don't have electricity, and they insert everyone with one needle in the hospital. And they don't have medicine, so they use beer bottle to drops. And they just no machine, just doctor push my stomach a few times, and he said that I have appendix. And that afternoon, they opened my stomach without painkiller. And turned out it was not just appendix, it was malnutrition and the infection I got. Opened it back, and they took my appendix anyway. So I'm gonna sue them. Once I go back, I gotta find my appendix. I woke up. I was 13 years old. And in the restroom, in the house where you don't have room to the bathroom, on the way to bathroom to outside, there were pile of human corpse. And they just put human corpse there. And you see rats out of human face, they eat eye part first. And we are hungry, so we are eating them. And we get disease, so we die. And they eat us back. The vicious cycle comes back and forth between rats and human beings. And my mom asked the nurse at the hospital, why don't we just move that corpse outside there? And they say, we don't have gas to carry them out. And as soon as I took out my stitch in the hospital, my mother and I thought there's no way we could survive in North Korea. And I tried to find the route where my sister went. And we found the lady. And she told me that she could send me to China. And she thought I would find my sister if I go to China. I didn't ask why she wanted to help me. I was just so desperate to get out of that hell. That night, very same day, my mother, I climbed a few mountains, and there was a frozen Yalu River between China and North Korea. And as you will see, it's not just crossing the river. Every 10 meters, guards with a gun standing there, and they're gonna shoot anybody escape. But some other lady had a connection with the guards, and they bribed the guard, and they were letting us go through, cross that frozen Yalu River. It was 2007, March 31st. And that night I stopped being a kid. As soon as we crossed that river, the first thing that I saw was my mother being raped. And the raper actually wanted me first. And my mother said, you cannot take her. You have to take me instead. A lot of times I thought she only raped once. But when I wrote a book, I found out she was raped actually 2 times. Once she was raped, and they took us a place. And then they told me, if you want to live in China, you have to be sold as wives to Chinese farmers. So we all know that China had one-child policy, and they could not really have more babies, so a lot of people kept only one boy. And those boys grew up in the rural areas, did not enough women, so they couldn't find wives. Especially the ones who had a mental disability, some deficiency in them. So those people demand these North Korean slave wives. And my mother asked me, Yeonmi, what do you want to do? Do you want to go back? And I told her, no. Because what changed my mind was the night I saw a trash can in the house. I never seen a trash can in my life because there was nothing to throw away in North Korea. I never seen we needed a trash can. But the house they had, a trash can, had more things than I ever had in my lifetime. I told her, no, I'm not going back. So from there on, my mother was sold for $75 to a man as to a wife. And it's almost like, to me, it's unbelievable a few years later that I'm buying a like $800 iPhone. How many times of my mom's life was. My price was over $200 because I was a virgin. I was expensive than her. I was also sold to a man. But the broker who bought me, somehow he didn't want to sell me. He told me that if I become his mistress, he would bring my mother and bring my father to me in China. And I was going to kill myself. I couldn't shame that I was going to be a sexual slave to a man. I didn't know even what sex was at the age of 13 because in North Korea, there's those kind of education. And in movies in North Korea, we don't have like kissing, sex scenes. As I told you, there's no love story. But I thought like if I sacrifice myself, I can save my family. So I did become his mistress when I was 13. And he did buy my mother back, and he brought my father. When my father, after the prison year, he came to China, he got the colon cancer from the prison year, and he was very sick. And it was by 2009, Beijing Olympic time. And I had to bury his ashes in the mountain without police knowing it, because if police know that we were from North Korea, they would send us back. After he died, I decided that I cannot live like that in China anymore. There's no way we could live that. And we took another chance, and that was going to South Korea, crossing the frozen Gobi Desert. So we had one compass, he told me about the crossing the country. I did a little bit similar thing. In 2009, February, in the minus 40 degrees, we had one compass in our hands, and we followed the northern star to freedom. Luckily, I'm here today. I didn't make it to Mongolia from China, and I was saved by Mongolian soldiers and became a free person for the first time in April 2009. Since then, I had a lot of problems because I had to learn a lot of few things, like eating salad. When I came to America, when they like eating salad, I was so offended. Like, that's a rabbit food. Why do I pay money for eating rabbit food? That's the food that I was eating it when I was young, and I was never going to eating again. But now I'm eating like salad, so I know I'm American now. And I had to learn what ATM machine was. That I thought like ATM machine, someone inside giving you money. I thought it was really mean, but now I know that machine does it. And I also I learned that what climate change is, what equality is, all these great ideas. And obviously I learned what George Orwell was, Shakespeare was. I have so many things to catch up that I missed out for a lot of my lifetime. My goal is not just like, give you a new idea about North Korea or make you do something about it. I just believe that we have room for a lot of things. I don't think North Korea is the most urgent problem you have now. But I think they deserve some care from us too. We can care about equality. We can care about, gender issue, climate change, everything. That is all important. But it breaks my heart that people, when they see me, and they're just so shocked, like, wow, you look just like me. People are in North Korea just like us. And that's my hope. I believe we are all the same. And I'm in college now. And I hope in North Korean people can be like me someday, learn about all these great things and find out that Americans are not bastards. And American men are actually a lot handsomer than the pro wrestling wrestlers. So I really appreciate that you took time to listen to my story and care about something no one really cares in DC and in politicians. But I hope we shine a light on humanity. That hope North Korean people someday can be free like us. So thank you so much, and please ask me any question you have after this. So thank you, everyone. Yeah, thank you.